Hey guys, welcome back. It seems like we need a little conversation. We got some people that are, I know there's a lot of new people. They're FOMOing. They convinced themselves that they shouldn't FOMO, and now they're FOMOing again. So we have people who are buying pre-orders for Prismatic's Elite Trainer boxes, the Pokemon Center ones. Don't do it. For the love of God, if you're FOMOing over a set that hasn't come out yet, you're doing it wrong. You need to. I've said it a million times on the channel here. Do not chase the shiny thing that everyone is flipping, dipping, reselling, and whatever they're doing. I'm hearing a ton of, oh my God, the scalpers are ruining the hobby. Guys, you just got to navigate this. The scalpers are temporary. They're going to go away after the market cools down. Once again, same thing with the pandemic. It's going to happen all over again. Now, if you're paying $200 for a Pokemon Center ETB, a pre-order, something that people don't even have yet, they're pre-selling it. They're selling because they ordered one. You're doing it absolutely wrong. And I know what you're saying, Rattle, but it's unavailable. It says so right on the PokemonCenter.com. Well, I got good news for you. That is not the one and only restock that they will have on there. Again, no one can predict the future, but the trend is that any of these Pokemon Center ETBs get a re-release on release day in around the actual release of the set, and then they're probably going to get one after that. Now, the Pokemon Company, they are not stupid. They make some crazy, weird decisions sometimes, and sometimes they overshoot, sometimes they undershoot. Typically, when they undershoot, they make sure that they reshoot so that they shoot enough shoot. You know what I'm saying? But do not pay $200 for a $60 box that is going to come back in stock. And yes, you're going to have to pay attention, because it's going to sell out again. If this comes out on release day, it comes out again, it might be available for a couple hours, but you need to pay attention. And what you should be paying attention to is the Discord, the Rattle Pokemon Discord. We got restock notifications. Usually this was hidden behind paywalls, sneaky deaky scalpy groups, but everyone has the same playing field now. You can come on in there. It's going to be faster than hearing about Jim Johnny on Twitter after it gets tweeted 69 times, retweeted, up-tweeted, anything like that. They're going to tell you right away when this stuff restocks. People in the Discord, if something like this happens, people are going to be talking about it. It's going to be news. Now, this one is not the Pokemon Center one, but if you're looking for just product to open on release, during the pandemic, we saw this influx. People that were new, like the people that are new right now, didn't understand that typically people are not going to Walmart. People are not going to Target on release day. They're not pre-ordering from these places to get ETBs, regular ETBs. But with the market conditions currently, with all the excess demand for this thing, if you want to open on a release, those are going to be the best options. Your game store, your LGS, unfortunately, is not going to be able to get enough of them to sell them at a reasonable price. They're either going to sell them at a reasonable price, limit you to one per customer, that sort of thing, or they're going to mark the price up, because if they don't mark the price up, whoever buys it, or whoever's capable of buying it, if there's no limit to what they're buying, they're going to buy all of them. They're going to stick them on eBay. They're going to be more expensive. So if you're the person that wants to put one of these bad boys, one of the regular ones, away, if you want to stick it in your closet, you want to sit on it, you want to be a stonk dogger, oh my God, look at my stonks going up in my closet or on the shelf behind me, that kind of thing, you do not need to worry about getting product on release. It'll be available throughout an entire year, probably even more than that. There will probably be some other products. Certain products will be reproduced, certain ones won't. If you want a Pokemon Center ETB, the best bet is always just to pre-order those. The first time it comes up, grab it, be done with it. You don't have to worry about it anymore, but there are additional chances that you'll probably be able to get. So, again, there's no reason to FOMO. The thing with the pre-orders on the Pokemon Center is that they don't charge you until they ship it. So that's a nice little bonus. You know that they're going to ship it. It's not like if you're pre-ordering from game stores right now, worst case scenario, it's a shady game store that's not going to send anything. Might make you fight for your money back. You might get credit. They might try to give you credit for their store where they don't have very much inventory. You got to get something that you don't want, or they'll try to charge you like a restocking fee when it's their own fault that they oversold pre-orders on this stuff. All right. So is that makes sense, guys? And no, not every. This tracks every restock. So if for some reason there's a restock of 10, people are like, oh my, I can't even get the bots. The bots are getting them all. Rattle. How do I buy this, dude? You know how many thousands of people want this stuff right now? You think when there's a small restock, you're gonna have even a shot in hell? I mean, there is a small chance. People are getting this stuff all the time in the Discord. They see the notification. Someone might get one. Someone might get two. Whatever it might be. This one here was up for quite a while. I think it was a couple hours. I can't remember exactly, but as you can tell from the check marks, you got to wait until there's a big restock. There might be more on release. There might be another wave. There might be another wave of pre-orders. It's all up to these individual stores, how they're selling it. But no, not every single time the bot pings, you're going to get it. It might be somebody that cancels a pre-order as well, and then that box or two boxes gets put up. That's out of our control, and it's by design because we want to catch everything just in case there's something good. There's going to be a lot of false positives or a lot of very hard to acquire restocks, but that's in order to get all the restocks so that we get the fastest notifications in the game. Now, same thing with Surging Sparks. There was a pre-order. I think the pre-order was up for quite a while, the initial pre-order. Then there was a restock. There will probably be more restocks of Surging Sparks on the Pokemon Center ETBs. I wouldn't be out there paying $135, $136, $137 for whatever this is. At least these people have the actual box in hand. But again, this is one of those things where you got to want it before everyone else wants it, or you got to be patient and you got to wait for them to restock. Now you're playing with fire a little bit if you wait, if you miss the initial pre-order, if you miss the pre-order, or not the pre-order, but if you miss the ones that go up on sale on release day, you're probably going to be in trouble after that. If you're just banking on them being restocked, they have before. Who knows? Do you know? No, I don't know either. I can't predict that for you. Apologies for that. But again, unavailable at the moment. There's some that were available for quite a while. They go out of stock. Sometimes they restock. Sometimes they don't. The further away from release on these bad boys, the harder it is to get your hands on them. Now, certain sets, it's the same with booster. I guess with booster boxes is the same thing. Now, you do not want to be buying expensive ass Surging Sparks booster boxes. There's going to be more. But the farther you get from release, the less likely you're going to see booster box reprints, if that makes any sense. Now, it might happen. They might. Or they might just continue to put Surging Sparks into other products. They want to make sure that the set itself is available. I don't think they really care whether or not they're printing it in booster box form. The further they go out, they're going to trickle those packs into other products. So that's kind of where you see this. Now, there's a ton of people that are like, oh, I got to get Surging Sparks now. What if it goes up? What if it's like Evolving Skies? Is it Evolving Skies, guys? Is that okay? So Evolving Skies, super outlier, not something that usually happens. Vivid Voltage kind of did the same thing on release, and it was also during the pandemic, which is very similar to the new entry of people that we see right now. It got reprinted. It was like $300 at one point, like close to release. It was like $300. I think it's at 100. I don't know how much it is now. 150. I think it came down to something like that. So it is possible that we don't see $100 Surging Sparks booster boxes, depending on how big the next wave is, depending on if there's a wave after that, how big that is. But I think it's likely we're going to see it come down closer to $100 than a $234. That's just what I'm thinking. I'd like to pick up a few more of these bad boys, and I'm waiting to do so. I think it's too expensive at the moment. I think this is not sustainable. The set is very new. The set is very prone, very, very likely to see large reprint and or reprints of even the booster box stuff. So initial wave, typically, if you're like a booster box collector or something like that, I would say pick one up right away when it comes out. Maybe grab a pre-order or whatever it might be. Make sure you're doing so from somewhere reputable, because if you don't, you're looking to burn yourself. They're either going to cancel it, or maybe they don't get enough product and they have to cancel for that reason. Maybe the price goes up and they cancel. There's all kinds of bad things that can happen. Pre-orders are a dangerous thing. But yeah, crazy. So it went down a little bit and then it went back up, I guess. I guess maybe that was pre-order pricing. But yeah, the booster boxes, buying anything in around this price, not a good idea. Now, I don't think it necessarily goes down to sub $100, but if it comes down to $100, I think that's a pretty safe, pretty good entry point. I can't remember exactly when Evolving Skies reprinted, it didn't come down below $100, and people were kind of like still sitting on their hands, waiting about it, thinking about it, that kind of thing. Didn't really want it. I think it came down to like 115, maybe something like that. But at that point, we were used to, spoiler for later on in the video, there was like Fusion Strike was like $80 or something on the lowest of low ends. No one wanted it. So again, as we're going to see today, do not avoid as much as you possibly can going after the thing that everybody wants, that everyone temporarily wants, the thing that's shooting up in price, especially when it's brand new, because I do not see a world where this thing isn't reprinted and doesn't drop down to like $110 or something, maybe lower. All right, Magikarp. Magikarp's still doing crazy things, pretty wild. And for anyone that doesn't understand why, it is pretty rare. Now, the packs of Paldea Evolved, pretty accessible. You can find them in quite a few mixed pack products. And then also the Paldea, short of the booster box, which is a little bit more expensive, which goes into, if you're opening packs, do not open booster boxes when the booster boxes are significantly more expensive. Find some loose packs, find some product that you can break down, whatever it might be. Do not buy them from sketchy ass Jimmy John from the back alley. He probably tampered with them, or he opened booster boxes and he got the big hits, and then to pull all the IRs from a booster box and then to kind of pass it off would be pretty tough to do so. This is crazy. It's crazy that this is like, it was like $200. I don't know if I trust that. We got 7 sales, 0% is showing 116. That might be a fake listing, so it looks more like $195, and that's 0%. $200, $200 fish. $200 IR is pretty insane. That makes it a whole lot more appealing, even though it's hard to pull, I guess, to open Paldea Evolved. That's the thing too. It's just like, don't get hung up on the stuff that's expensive, the stuff that everyone's after, the stuff that's brand new. There's a ton of like the earlier Scarlet and Violet. There's a ton of even XY and anything like that, that if you, or vintage at the moment, where people are not looking at it, it's kind of underappreciated. It doesn't have anywhere to go down, that sort of thing, less risk, and something that you can get into. So anyone that's like, oh my God, the scalpers, I can't even collect Pokemon cards. You just got to do something that the scalpers are not doing, something that is more readily available, something that's old, that is not in the spotlight right now. There is just a copious amount of areas that you can get some awesome deals. I'll be going through some of those locations, some of those places at the moment. So when you're pricing this stuff out, when you're shopping around, you're buying your singles, TCG Player's a good spot to check on the link tree as well. If you want to support the channel at no additional cost to yourself, you can hit up Troll and Toad, see if they got one in stock here. So might be a little bit less expensive, around the same price. Who knows? They do have some graded cards on there as well. Keep an eye on that if you're looking for something specific, whether you want it graded or whether you want to crack it out. I'm more of a crack dude, if you want to call me that. Card Trader as well. There's a sign up. You can get 5% off your first order. Card Trader is better if you want to be shopping kind of all over the globe, but still good to check and see what they have available if you're in the US or wherever else that you can grab one. So pretty good resource if you're looking for multi-language, if you're looking for a bunch of cards to make a deck or something like that. The more cards you add, especially with their Zero program, where they ship them all to themselves, and then once they ship them all the cards arrive there, then they'll get shipped over to you. So it could be a good way to grab up some either obscure stuff, or if there's good deals, or if there's a bunch of stuff that you need to complete sets or something like that. Good resource there. It's gonna be slower, so if you're impatient, typically this is not the best option unless you're just buying a single from the country that you reside in. But essentially, You can get stuff all over the world. Card Market, if you're in Europe, you know the drill. You should be shopping on there. You should be pricing stuff on there, as well as eBay. Make sure you exhaust all options. The countless times that I've seen, or that people are just like, why is somebody paying more on TCG Player for something than they can go on eBay and they can get it for $20 less? Like, what are they thinking? They're not. They're just going on whatever platform they prefer or are used to using or comfortable using, and they go and buy it on there. Same with Pokemon. There's Pokemon Center stuff on Pokemon Center, like booster boxes and stuff like that. And usually the Pokemon Center booster boxes are overpriced. They weren't with Surging Sparks on release, but typically those are too expensive and they don't sell, and they sit on there for quite a while. And that's kind of like a little barrier for the price going up is the fact that the Pokemon Center needs to sell out before it'll go up above that 140 or whatever dollars that it is. It's too expensive for a booster box typically, but that's what we deal with here. All right, so here's some Paldea Evolved kind of products. If you're looking at it, you might get some sick nasty deals on ETBs or whatever it might be. So if you have the itch to open packs, you can get some cheap Paldea Evolved. You can search for the Magikarp. Again, people hate to hear this, or people need to hear it, I guess, if they're new and they don't quite understand how it works. But the contents of a product, on average, are worth less than the product itself. So if you're opening product, people are like, what product do I open to make money? You don't open product to make money. If you enjoy it, open a little bit of it, do so responsibly, do so to an extent that you know that if you're not having fun opening packs, do not open packs, for the love of God. Singles are cheaper, especially if you wait until the playable stuff rotates out or gets replaced with better playable stuff, that sort of thing. Keep that in mind. And if you're wondering what's playable, if it looks overpriced as a single, and it's new, and it's not Pikachu or Charizard doing a 360 no scope, it's probably playable to some extent. All right, here we go. I mean, there's always new playable stuff within new sets. And if there's an unexplained, weird looking price that's too high, that's probably why. If you want to dig deeper, you can look into what decks are using and such. So thank you guys once again for using the link tree. That's how the channel sustains itself. That's how I pay the bills over here. Thank you guys for shopping at Troll and Toad Sakura's Card Trader Card Market, using the collector app to track your collection. Then we got stuff like the Besbuy, 10% off your first purchase. So if you're buying stuff in Japan, if you're collecting Japanese, I don't know if Japanese is going to go crazy again here with the Pandemic 2 that we got going on, the Bubble 2 Hype Dog Pokemon Era 2 that we're in right now, that feels very much like the pandemic. But then people moved into Japanese, the prices went crazy on it. It all kind of came back down to earth. We're going to see what's going on with that, if that happens again. But if you are buying Japanese stuff, be careful, keep an eye on, make sure you know what the market looks like, make sure you know that the market is where it should be. Same thing if it's new, if it just came out. We're seeing a lot of product available. There's monitors on the Discord, I should have mentioned, for Pokemon Center US, Canada, and the UK. Then we also have some some Japanese restock monitors, Pokemon Center Japan, Amazon Japan, stuff like that. So keep an eye on what you're doing there. Spend wisely. Make sure you're careful with where you're buying your Japanese booster boxes. I'd recommend Sakura for that. You get that 7% code for your first order. But yeah, thank you for using the codes. Thank you for using the affiliate links here. It supports the channel. Rather than send me money, I'd rather you guys buy something, make informed decisions, buy something you want, or buy something for someone you love. Do a little nice deeds. Buy somebody a booster box or something as a nice birthday gift. Christmas next year, something like that. All right, a belated Christmas gift. All right, Fusion Strike doing crazy things again. People hated Fusion Strike. People didn't care about Fusion Strike. Oh no, it was Chilling Rain that was $80. Did I say Fusion Strike? Fusion Strike was also just, no one really gave a crap. It's got the Espeon on the roof. It's got the Gengar sucking up the whole world, sucking off the Snorlax belly, whatever it might be. Man, I wish TCG Player, can you please just nuke all these, like, or just make a separate category for like 36 loose packs, or like all these like other languages and stuff like that. They have a separate Japanese language area there now, but so what do we got? We got 460 books for that bad boy. 450 here plus $10 shipping. Insane. It went from December 24th, 242 up to $400. It's only 2 items sold. Right, crazy. I don't know what to say. This is one of those things where if something spikes really quick, if something goes up like crazy, don't be surprised if it retraces. So if you didn't want it at $200, if you didn't want it at $210, if you didn't want it at $240, what are you doing buying it at $450? So I don't know. I just kind of stay away from this altogether. I don't like to spend a lot of time wasted on just like waiting for deals, waiting to see if there's a reprint or anything like that. When there's a good price to get into a box, buy the box. If you want the box for your collection, if you want to hold on to it, see what it does in the future, whatever it might be. I'm not buying it when it spikes. People love to buy shit, love to want stuff. As soon as it spikes in price, they didn't give a shit about it before. Now they do. You're going to have people just jumping onto that, seeing if they can ride the wave. A lot of those people are going to get burnt, especially if you're holding on to it. So buy it when it's safe. You can't tell what's going to go up. What do we have? Was it Rebel Clash or Technos Ablaze? Rebel Clash, I think. Rebel Clash ETBs, super crazy expensive. The set is not good. The set is not a fan favorite. In comparison to other sets that are options, ETBs in general. People are going to want the ETBs if they want one of each ETB for their sealed collection, whatever it is. It went up in price because no one wanted it. So if someone's like, Rattle, what should I buy? I typically don't want to tell anyone to buy anything specific, but in my opinion, I think it's better to purchase stuff when it's new, when people don't necessarily want it. In the case where we have something like a Surging Sparks where it went out of control, if we have something like a Prismatic Evolutions that's out of control before it even comes out, I would say wait on those because there's going to be more. Now, the more times you wait for reprints of booster boxes, the more likely there is in the next reprint of booster boxes. So if there's a specific product that you want, if there's Pokemon Center ETBs, if you know you want one of every, or you want a case of every Pokemon Center ETB, you get it when it first gets advertised. And if you somehow miss that, if you miss the 2 hour, 4 hour, 2 day, whatever it is window where that's available, then you hit it up, try and get it on release day. You join the Discord, you turn on your notifications for Pokemon Center, you make sure you're paying attention in and around the release of the set, and you grab one when it's ready. Maybe you get a friend and tell them, do it double duty, give you a call when it shows up, that kind of thing. All right, so we have the Gengar here. Again, I want to believe that this isn't Snorlax's belly and that he isn't getting a nice little tongue job from Mr. Gengar here, but that's kind of what I see. That's what's probably going on here. We always get, man, we got a lot of, I noticed on eBay, turn the eBay back on after the old Canada Post strike is kind of delayed, or they're forced back to work or whatever. And man, there are a lot of new people. It's just crazy how many new people are out there shopping, buying. If you're new, be very careful, because what you're experiencing, the world around you, the stuff that's going on right now, it might feel good because you're buying something and what the hell, it's going up in price. I'm a stonk dog extreme. I know what I'm doing here. I know our Pokemon always goes up, and my God, does it not always go up. The amount of people that were probably severely burned on the pandemic stuff, the stuff that was going up in price. Look up the price of something. Make sure it's not doing something like this when you buy it. If it's pretty stable, up and down, maybe went up a little bit, came up a little bit, you're probably safe. But I would urge people to explore other areas other than the new hotness, the hotness that is the topic. Speaking of hotness that is the topic, we have Pikachu with gray felt hat. This thing is insane. I don't know what the hell's going on here. It was available. It's one of those things where you should have purchased it. You should have been paying attention. There are a lot of people that are probably new, didn't have a chance, weren't around when it came out. that Pokemon Center window where you just had to buy something. There might not have been something that you wanted, but at any rate, if you want the card, if you just wanted a copy for your collection, or if you wanted a few copies, maybe you want a grade one, that was the time to get it. Even if you had to buy a crappy item that sucked mean wiener babies, you just suck it up. You buy something that's not that great. Just get your copies. I mean, if it continued to be available, that's a different story. Then you want to shop around. You want to find something that you actually want from the Pokemon Center. You get a cool promo as a bonus. But even when these came out, like, the promo was worth more than what the item you had to purchase was. So keep that in mind. Like, maybe you don't want 60 copies of this thing, but if you want to grab a few, suck it up and take the whatever product you have to buy to get it. Now, people don't like to see it, don't like to hear it. They'd rather go on Whatnot. They'd rather go get scammed by some carnival folk. But I'm here to tell you that there are deals every single week. You can go to, whether it's the PSA auctions, whether it's the Z&G auctions on here, there are going to be deals every single time. With auctions, all you got to do, just don't care if you lose. Find some cards that you like, throw some low bids on them. If you win them, sick. Awesome. You got an absolute banging deal. Now, a lot of this stuff covers, because of these auctions, they cover a lot of stuff that isn't the new hotness, that isn't the the thing that everybody wants at the moment. That kind of thing. Now, if it's the upper echelon, if you're still bidding on Moonbreon PSA 10s or Gray Felt Hat, they did the sealed. Oh my God, I didn't even see that before. I know they were grading the insert cards or whatever too, but careful. Just careful what you're doing. Look up pricing. Look to see if the pricing hasn't done anything in a long time, it's from an older set, whatever it might be. That might be a good way to focus your energy to still continue to enjoy Pokemon. They do have Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh! And everything, One Piece on there as well. These are a great way. This is like a low time sink, good way to go browse through cards. Maybe you learn something. Maybe you see some cards that you've never seen before. Throw some low bids on there. Price them out. Use the aforementioned websites to price out what a near mint copy is. If you're seeing 8s, if you're seeing 9s that are going for less than near mint, but you want a raw card, buy them, crank them out, whatever it might be. Who cares? It's going in your binder anyway. Or if you want the graded copies in a certain grade, that's a good way to do so as well. So, nice little tidbit. Same with the Fanatics auctions. Same thing. There's a ton of stuff. There's a ton of stuff that shouldn't have been graded. Like this Pikachu, regular Pikachu 8.5 from Paldea Evolved. And someone bid $5 on it. Now, some of these bids on the lower end stuff, that might be just somebody that's trying to make mystery packs, and you're going to get a slab. And guess what slab you're going to get? You're going to get this thing that shouldn't be worth the $5 plus buyer's premium that they're selling it for, or that they're going to put wrapping around it and call it mystery. They're going to make a gambling product, and you get to be the person that pays for this, not them. You're probably paying more than the $5 plus whatever. So there are good deals on here. You need to price it out. You need to look through it. But the best thing about that is, if you don't know what you're doing, you take your time, you price out you see a card you like, you think it might be underpriced, price it out, see what it is, see what it's worth, put a low bid on it. You win it, you win it. You don't win it, whatever, no loss. You learn something along the way. You got a better feel for what pricing is good, but don't let yourself think that, like, there's nowhere that you can get good deals. There's no good deals to be had just because, the handful of items that everyone wants at the moment are spiking in price and too expensive, and you're priced out and everything like that. There's tons of older sets, cool old cards, cool old rare cards that are very inexpensive, like painfully inexpensive, especially if you compare them to any of the chase stuff that we're seeing with these modern sets. You can, the vintage stuff's looking like some pretty good deals over there. So keep that in mind. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully this was helpful for somebody out there, or at least a few people out there. Love you guys. Join the Discord. See you next time.